Hello, ladies. This is the Concealed Mistress. And once again, we are talking about relationships. This is a channel for women and to empower women while dating and in relationships and marriage, of course. Once again, I am reading some posts from the dating channels or the dating groups in Facebook. And this is a short, simple one question from a lady who asks how to respond when a boyfriend is putting in less effort. And that's a good question because you're with somebody long enough and they may stop doing the things that they used to do. Normally, that has to do with time. You settle into a relationship, it could get sort of boring. But it depends also what she means when she's talking about effort. Now, I just have her question here. I didn't go into the comments and dig in. Someone may have asked her, well, what do you mean by less effort? Effort in what? And she just may mean effort in the relationship. So, for example, let's say maybe she means less effort as far as maybe going out and doing things together and spending time. That happens a lot in relationships after you've been with each other a while. That first 3 months have passed and the new has sort of worn off and you sort of settle in, um, and you stop going on dates possibly. So in that instance, let's say um, you haven't been going out. I would say if you say to him, hey, honey, I'm going to go out and do something. We haven't been out in a while. And he's like, no, I don't want to do that. I just want to chill at home. I don't want to do anything. Okay. Now this is like, let's say you're living together or not, or maybe you're at his house that particular day or whatever. Honey, go put on a nice outfit, do your hair and makeup and go out. Call some friends. I hope you're not one of those friends that when you get a boyfriend, you don't talk to your friends because it might be hard to round them up to go out and do something. So always keep in touch with your friends and have a life, even if you have somebody. But I digress. Hey, fix yourself up, step out, and go enjoy yourself. You can probably go to a movie by yourself, right? But just go out looking nice and looking good because he'll start looking at you like, what? Where are you going? What are you doing? He'll start taking interest, right? Another way that he could be putting in less effort possibly is in the bedroom. That's a tough one right there. Sometimes you may have to talk to him and have a nice discussion or make some suggestions, light suggestions about, what is he doing or what is he not doing, right? Or maybe he's not putting effort in his appearance and taking care of himself. Once again, that's a conversation. Sometimes, we get in relationships, we do get lazy. I mean, men and women experience this, okay? So, um, I would say don't nag them about it. Just have a lightweight conversation. Have a conversation, and maybe you want to say something. Um, with men, you have to be careful because they're sensitive, right? I think they're more sensitive than women. And it's the way that you have to tell them things sometimes. It's like walking on eggshells because they don't want to ever be wrong about anything, although they're wrong about stuff. So you have to put it in a way that it's not going to quote unquote hurt his feelings. Oh, goodness gracious. I swear. It's like dealing with children. Anyway, but have a conversation and just don't make it accusatory, right? And let him make a decision on what he's going to do. If he doesn't make an effort after the conversation, then you've got to decide if it's a deal breaker in the relationship, because you definitely don't want to experience that in a marriage if you decide to get married, right? So, or you may not even make it to marriage because he's not putting in an effort in whatever it is. She's saying he's not putting an effort in. Um, Effort is everything in a relationship. especially coming from men, because I feel like women, a lot of times, we're natural givers. We're over givers. When it comes to trying to pull a man in and have a relationship and yada, 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 and get chose and all that stuff, we go beyond, overboard and beyond what we're supposed to. And that's not always good, because that will cause a man to do less and less for you. That could be her situation. Maybe she's overgiving and he's pulling back and not giving any effort anymore. Sometimes, ladies, you just have to step back and let a man show that he wants you. So don't overgive. That's why we end up, after relationships, we end up becoming bitter and angry sometimes, because we have given too much while there was no reciprocity from that man. But sometimes we have ourselves to blame in that regard. I'm sorry. If you notice a man isn't early on reciprocating many of the things you're doing, you need to stop. That's not the time for you to ramp up your efforts and continue to give, because you will probably regret it. So we don't know what she means by effort here, but if I was to speak to her and give some advice to her, have a lightweight conversation. Don't make it something serious or drastic or anything, but you want to find out where his head is. He may be going through something. Sometimes you get involved with men and from the beginning they don't make an effort and we stay with them. That would be our fault, ladies. Right? When we start seeing things that's not right, I get, sometimes men know what they're doing. Sometimes they know what they're doing. And women have to recognize that. Sometimes a conversation needs to be had, but sometimes it may be best not to have one. Sometimes it may be best to just stop talking to them. Let them come find you. Because maybe if they have to come and find you, they'll put in some effort, right? If you're living together, that's a little bit difficult. I got this thing about living with a man. I say, don't do it. But if you're living apart, it's a lot easier because he's in his space, you're in yours, and you could just sort of like ignore him, right? Go do something else. Go and do you, right? And he can come find you. And when he comes and finds you, he should be putting in the effort. He may put in the effort, right? But if he doesn't and things are the same, well, you haven't answered. And if that bothers you and if that's a deal breaker, then you need to find a new relationship. Stop wasting time on relationships with people when certain things bother you and you keep giving them a chance and they come back and it's rinse and repeat. They're doing the same thing every time and you get your feelings hurt and you're wasting time. So that's my response to this question. It's a good question. And I think this happens a lot in relationships, right? And it can happen from men and women, but this was a young lady asking this question. And so if he's not putting in any effort, either you can have a conversation with him and express that, or you can say nothing and just sort of pull back a bit and let him come and find you. So subscribe, and add any comments. How would you handle that if your boyfriend, or even your husband for that matter, was putting in less effort? I guess it depends on what it would be. Until next time, ladies, this is the Concealed Mistress. Bye now.